Have you ever wondered why some people seem to truly bloom after turning 60, while others feel stuck, tired, or like life has passed them by? The surprising truth is that the secret to a better, more meaningful life isn't always found in what we start doing, but in what we stop doing. Yes, letting go can be one of the most powerful decisions you make. Today, I want to share with you 11 things I chose to quit after turning 60. And I don't say this lightly. These choices didn't just lighten my load. They gave me back my joy, my energy, and my peace of mind. This isn't just a list. It's a story of freedom, a journey of transformation. And if you stay with me until the end, you may just find the courage to start your own beautiful new chapter. So, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, take a deep breath, settle in, and let's begin together. Number 1. Quit working just for the paycheck. For most of my adult life, I worked because I had to. I chased paychecks, climbed ladders, answered to bosses, and sacrificed weekends, thinking that one day it would all be worth it. But after turning 60, I stopped and asked myself, am I working for a living, or am I living to work? I realized I was trading time, my most precious resource, for tasks that didn't light me up. So, I quit working just for the paycheck. I started choosing projects that gave me meaning, even if they paid less. I spent more time mentoring, volunteering, and creating. The freedom I gained? Priceless. Number 2, quit mindless spending. Another powerful shift came when I quit mindless spending. There was a time I bought things just to fill a void or to impress others. But as I got older, I saw that most of those things brought temporary pleasure and lasting clutter. I began asking, do I really need this? Will it add value to my life? Now, I find joy in simplicity. My home is lighter, my wallet is freer, and the things I do buy, they mean something. Number 3, quit sweating the small stuff. One of the most liberating changes came when I finally quit sweating the small stuff. For much of my life, I carried a mental checklist of everything that had to go right for my day to feel okay. A missed call would leave me anxious. A traffic jam could ruin my mood. A spilled cup of coffee or a late delivery. It felt like the whole world was out to get me. These little moments, which in hindsight were completely insignificant, held way too much power over my peace of mind. I was constantly reacting, constantly tense, like I was walking through life with clenched fists. But something shifted after I turned 60. With age came a deeper sense of perspective. I started asking myself, will this matter in 5 years, 5 days, even 5 hours? And the answer, more often than not, was no. So I began to release the grip. I stopped letting small inconveniences control my emotions. I realized that peace doesn't come from having a perfect schedule or everything going my way. It comes from how I choose to respond when things don't. Number 4, started smiling at the mishaps. Instead of letting frustration take over, I started breathing through the delays, smiling at the mishaps, and laughing at the things that used to irritate me. I realized that life doesn't wait until everything is flawless to be beautiful. Life is the long line at the grocery store, the unexpected rain, the forgotten names, and minor missteps. I began to see those imperfect moments as part of the richness of being alive. Letting go of the small stuff didn't make my days easier, but it made me lighter. I began responding with patience instead of panic, with gratitude instead of groaning. It was like learning a new language, one that spoke calm, presence, and maturity. And in that language, every little annoyance became an invitation to pause, to reflect, to grow. That shift didn't just improve my mood, it transformed the way I moved through the world. Now I carry peace with me, not because life got easier, but because I stopped demanding that it be perfect. Number 5, stop neglecting my body. Perhaps one of the most life-saving choices I made was to stop neglecting my body. For too long, I treated it like a machine that would just keep going. Fast food, little sleep, no movement. But after 60, everything changed. I started walking daily, stretching, drinking more water, and saying no to foods that didn't love me back. I didn't do it to look young. I did it to feel strong, to be present, to live well. Because at this age, your body isn't just a shell, it's your partner. Number 6, quit people-pleasing. Something I never thought I'd be able to do, but eventually did, was quit people-pleasing. For years, I was the yes person, the one who helped, who showed up, who didn't say what she really felt. But that kind of life is exhausting. After 60, I finally understood that I could say no without being unkind. I could speak up without starting a war. And most importantly, I could honor myself without betraying others. Number 7, letting go of draining relationships. One of the hardest and most necessary choices was letting go of draining relationships. I held on to people out of habit, guilt, or fear. Friends who didn't celebrate me. Family members who only reached out when they needed something. I realized that love doesn't always mean keeping people close. Sometimes it means blessing them from a distance. Now, I surround myself with kindness, with authenticity. The peace I've found in that? Unmatched. Number 8, stopped ignoring my mental health. I also stopped ignoring my mental health. I used to push my emotions aside, thinking it made me strong. But true strength, I learned, is being able to say, I'm not okay. I began journaling, talking to someone I trust, giving myself permission to feel. There's no shame in tending to your soul. It's how you stay whole. And healing isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. Number 9, I quit postponing my dreams. Another thing I quit, and this one changed everything, I quit postponing my dreams. For decades, I lived with the quiet belief that someday would always come. There was always a reason to wait. I'll travel when I retire, I'd say. I'll write that book when the kids are older. I'll start painting again once life slows down. But the truth is, life never really slows down. It just keeps going. And somewhere after turning 60, I had a powerful realization. Later isn't promised. It hit me like a wave. I looked back and saw how many dreams I had placed on hold, not because I couldn't pursue them, but because I thought I had all the time in the world. And when I finally understood how precious and fleeting time is, I made a choice. I stopped waiting. So, I booked the trip I had talked about for years, even though I felt nervous. I signed up for the art class that I had told myself I was too old for. I sat down to write the first page of that book. Not a masterpiece, just a beginning. And do you know what happened? I felt alive again. There was an energy I hadn't felt in years, a spark that had dimmed under layers of responsibility, fear, and excuses. Starting small didn't mean starting insignificantly. Every tiny step was a declaration. I still have dreams, and I'm still worthy of living them. I discovered that the joy of pursuing something meaningful far outweighs the fear of failing at it. I wasn't chasing perfection. I was embracing purpose. For much of my earlier life, I feared change like it was a storm I had to shelter from. I found safety in routines and predictability. The familiar became my comfort zone, and anything outside of it felt risky. But the truth is, change doesn't ask for permission. It arrives whether you're ready or not. The people around you shift. The seasons of life evolve. The body, the mind, the world, they all transform. So instead of resisting, I started to flow. I began to treat change not as a threat, but as a companion on the road to growth. And what I discovered on the other side wasn't the chaos I had feared. It was a kind of rebirth. Change brought with it opportunity, new friendships, deeper self-knowledge, even unexpected passions. I met people I would never have crossed paths with if I had stayed in my comfort zone. I learned lessons I couldn't have grasped without walking through something unfamiliar. Every single change I once feared delivered a truth I needed. Yes, there was discomfort, but within that discomfort was a second win, a fresh chapter, a renewal of the spirit. I no longer see change as an ending. I see it as a door. And the older I get, the more doors I'm willing to open. Number 10, taking sleep for granted. Sleep. Oh, how I used to take it for granted. I stayed up late, scrolled through my phone, watched TV until my eyes burned. But after 60, I understood that rest isn't a luxury, it's medicine. Now, I create a peaceful routine. I go to bed early with gratitude, and I wake up with clarity and energy. Sleep has become sacred, and it's changed my health in ways I never imagined. Number 11, quit comparing myself to others. And finally, I quit comparing myself to others. I used to look around and measure myself against everyone, her beauty, his success, their relationship, but that only led to self-doubt. Now, I look inward. I honor my path, my pace, my progress. I'm not in a race, I'm on a journey, and it's beautiful, just as it is. So, my friend, if you've made it this far, thank you. I shared these 11 things to show you what's possible when you begin to let go, when you give yourself permission to stop doing what no longer serves you, and start embracing what brings you peace. If any of these touched your heart, let me know in the comments. What are you ready to quit? What's the next chapter of your life going to be like? And if this video brought you any kind of clarity, and don't forget to subscribe. Here at The Best Chapter, we believe the best part of your life is yet right in front of you. See you next time.